Has Amber Heard been finally exposed? Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's highly publicized legal battle has been going on for years, with no end in sight. However, a lot of people have recently come out of the woodwork and offered evidence in support of Johnny's version of events. After nearly having his career ruined and being fired from several big-budget projects, Johnny is now being backed by Disney, who has reportedly rehired him for his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Meanwhile, things aren't going so great for Amber. Besides being replaced by Emilia Clarke for the role of Mera in Aquaman 2, Amber is now being abandoned by her own legal team. It looks like a lot of people who once claimed that Amber was telling the truth are now jumping ship. So how come they've all changed their minds? Amber Heard and Johnny Depp have been exchanging back-and-forth accusations since 2014, and although Johnny recently lost his libel case against The Sun over an article that called him a wife, he's definitely won the public support. The fans and celebrities alike are now saying they believe Johnny and accusing Amber of orchestrating a hoax to ruin his career. Evidence that Amber has been lying all along just keeps piling up, and professionals from all walks of life have come forward with strong arguments in Johnny's favor. One of these people is body language analyst Logan Portnier from the popular YouTube channel Observe, who recently did a brilliant analysis of Amber Heard's body language in her infamous 2016 court deposition. Amber's behavior and facial expressions during the deposition were strange, to say the least. The actress looked zoned out, rolled her eyes while answering questions, and at one point she even started snacking on cookies while listening to herself talking on tape about hitting Johnny in the face. At the time, the fans thought the reason why Amber was acting that way was because she was scared and traumatized. However, body language experts say differently. Portnier, who carefully analyzed Amber's body language and other nonverbal cues in his recent video, is convinced the real reason why Amber looks and sounds like she's lying is because she is. Portnier first looked at clips of Amber from earlier interviews to get an idea of how Amber acts in normal circumstances, and then compared it to her behavior during the deposition. The body language expert noted how Amber starts looking around the room the moment she's asked about being violent towards Johnny. Also, when asked if she understands the question about being violent, Amber nods while saying no, which is definitely a red flag. She also keeps fidgeting while answering questions and stumbling over her words as if she's trying to come up with something to say on the spot. But the weirdest thing happens when the lawyer plays the tape of Amber admitting that she had hit Johnny. At this point, Amber starts snacking and acts like she couldn't care less about the tape. Not only is eating during a court deposition rude, but according to the body language analyst, it could also be a tactic Amber used to buy herself time while answering difficult questions. The actress also kept talking in a condescending way and looked like she was bored out of her mind the whole time. In other words, Amber looked like she didn't care one bit about proving her innocence. She appeared completely uninterested in the tape, and as Portnier pointed out, if she's actually the victim, why is she not more passionate about it? And right at the moment when she's asked about punching Johnny in the face with a closed fist, Amber reaches for another cookie and starts acting like she can't talk with her mouth full all of a sudden. Finally, Amber starts answering the question, but never really says yes or no about punching Johnny in the face, at which point her lawyer steps in to interject. Amber then goes on to say that she was just trying to protect her younger sister because Johnny was trying to push her down the stairs, but she never actually admits to punching him. The body language expert then compared Amber's description of the incident to Johnny's deposition and noted how Johnny sounded genuine and just as soft-spoken as he usually sounds in all of his interviews. Johnny described the incident in detail, which according to the body language analyst is a sign of honesty. On the other hand, Amber added details that were unrelated to the incident, which is something you do when you're not telling the complete truth. In the end, Portnier analyzed clips of Amber and Johnny's red carpet interview and noted how all signs point to Amber being the dominant one in the relationship in an unhealthy way. The body language expert concluded that Amber's behavior definitely indicates that she's not being honest and that she's actually the one who is mistreating Johnny. But that's not all. A lot of other high-profile people have come forward and offered their support for Johnny. One of them was Joe Rogan, who's actually never really been a fan of Johnny and Amber's relationship, and warned Johnny all the way back in 2018 that he was being blackmailed by Amber. Besides Johnny Depp's former partners, Winona Ryder and Vanessa Paradis, both of whom have said that Johnny had never been violent towards them, a number of other celebs have rushed to defend Johnny against Amber's accusations. More recently, Australian singer Sia took to Twitter to offer her support for Johnny and shared a YouTube video of Amber and Johnny's conversations outlining Amber's problematic behavior. Sia also alleged in the caption that Amber is suffering from borderline personality disorder and that she needs help. The singer then followed this with another tweet which read, "Just showing my public support for Johnny Depp. I mean, I'd love him to get clean and stop with the jewelry, but he is clearly the victim after hearing those tapes." Sia also called out Amber's ex-boyfriend Elon Musk, whom Amber dated after she broke up with Johnny Depp, and said Musk gave Amber the $7 million she allegedly donated to charity. Also, Elon Musk, didn't you give her the $7 million she donated from her settlement? Sia wrote, and added, "She still came out $7 million richer. Why are you protecting her? She will never get the help she needs if we all stay silent." What Sia was referring to was the $7 million Amber was given as a divorce settlement from Johnny in 2016, which Amber claimed she donated to the American Civil Liberties Union and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. At the time, Amber released a statement saying, "As described in the restraining order and divorce settlement, money played no role for me personally and never has, except to the extent that I could donate it to charity and, in doing so, hopefully help those less able to defend themselves." As reported in the media, the amount received in the divorce was $7 million, and $7 million has been donated. However, Johnny recently accused Amber of pocketing the money and repeatedly lying about giving it all to charity. While the ACLU refused to comment on whether they received any money from Amber, the LA Children's Hospital has confirmed that they've only received $100,000 instead of the $3.5 million they were promised. Amber's legal team then fired back, saying that Johnny's claims are just a desperate attempt to divert attention from the accusations against him. However, Amber's team also said that Amber intends to continue to contribute and eventually fulfill her pledge, which pretty much confirmed what Johnny was saying, that to this date, she still hasn't donated the $7 million she pledged 5 years ago. This only cast more doubt on Amber's version of the story because the judge who ruled in favor of the British tabloid The Sun said at the time that Amber's donation of the $7 million to charity is hardly the act one would expect of a gold digger. High-profile lawyer and Time's Up movement co-founder Roberta Kaplan, who represented Amber, has reportedly filed a request in court to withdraw from the case, together with several other attorneys from Amber's legal team. A spokesperson for Kaplan's law firm said the reason Kaplan decided to withdraw was due to travel and logistics becoming more costly in light of the pandemic. But would a big-shot lawyer really withdraw from a case like this if she firmly believed her celebrity client was telling the truth? I don't think so, and neither do Johnny's lawyers. Johnny's lawyer, Adam Waldman, threw shade at Kaplan and said he wasn't convinced by her explanation for quitting Amber's legal team so suddenly. Waldman told The Blast that Time's Up and others inexplicably hitched their wagons to Amber Heard's hoax, but Ms. Heard's lawyers, one of whom co-founded the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund, have now apparently unhitched from Ms. Heard's long disproven frauds. We intend to discover why. As for the fans, you'd have a hard time these days trying to find someone who supports Amber. Even those who fiercely defended her after she first accused Johnny of being are now saying that Amber has been gaslighting Johnny all along, and that the real victims in this case are Johnny, the Me Too victims, and its movement. So now I want to know how you feel about this ongoing divorce drama. Do you think Amber Heard's allegations were a hoax? And who will come out as the winner in the end? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below.